So just a reminder, this is stuff that you have done previously. We're only using the Desmos calculator because we need to get used to how it works. Every assignment you complete on time to 100%, your name goes in a drawing. At the end of testing week, I will draw out. So you really have the potential of earning, I think there's only 3 that we're doing next week, so 7. There may be more that I pop in there if I want some other things for you to study. Okay, but right now there's a potential for you to earn 7. All right, so let's talk about this. Angle relationships. Oh, Nellies, been a while. When 2 lines intersect in a plane and form right angles, they are called perpendicular lines. 2 lines are called blank lines when they're in the same plane and do not intersect. Parallel. Complementary angles are 2 angles whose sum of their measures is 180 is the other one. 90. Complementary is 90. The other one's 180, but what is it called? What are they called? Supplementary. Okay. So complementary, they add up to equal 90. Supplementary, they add up to equal 180. Vertical angles are opposite angles formed by the intersection of 2 lines. Vertical angles are always equal. So if you have a line and it intersects with another line, angle A and angle B share the hinge point but go in opposite directions are called vertical angles. If I tell you A is 37 degrees, you're going to tell me B is 37 degrees. Okay? A line that intersects 2 or more lines, bless you, is called a transversal. The picture at the bottom of your page has a set of parallel lines and a line that slashes through them, yes? The one that's slashing, labeled L, is the transversal. When L slashes those 2 lines, how many angles are formed? 8 angles. Some of those angles are labeled as interior because they are inside the 2 parallel lines, and some of them are labeled as exterior because they are outside. Look down at your diagram. Let's list our interior, in between the 2 lines. What angles are in between the 2 lines? 3, 4, 5, and 6. Your exterior angles are 1, 2, 7, and 8. Truthfully, all that you're saying there's no relationship between them besides their inside or their outside. I just want you to be able to know the difference between interior and exterior. Okay, here's where more vocab comes into play here. First set of angles that should be new. Vertical you've used before. Alternate interior angles. Not angels. Are interior angles. Both of them are interior. And they lie on opposite sides of the transversal. They cannot be next to each other. So looking down at your diagram, who can give me a set of interior angles that are on opposite sides of that transversal that are not next to one another? Cassidy.
4 and 6.
4 and 6. Is that the only set? What's the other set? 5 and 3. So 4 and 6, 5 and 3. Miss Hoff calls these Z angles. If you would trace 4 and then trace 6, do you see the Z? It helps me identify them as alternate interior. When lines are parallel, their measures are equal. Again, if you knew how many degrees angle 4 was, you would know how many degrees angle 6 is. If you know how many degrees angle 3 was, you would know how many degrees angle 5 is. Okay? Your next set of angles are called alternate exterior angles. The only word that changed was interior changed to exterior. So in the definition, same thing. Both exterior angles, they're on opposite sides of the transversal. They cannot be next to each other. Who can tell me a set of alternate exterior? Max. 2 and 8. Any others? 1 and 7. These angles are about as far apart from each other that you can possibly get. Okay, they don't make any cool letter or shape or anything like that. But the same thing, their measures are equal. Their measures are equal. The last one, corresponding angles, are angles that are in the same position on the two lines in relation to the transversal. Notice they never said interior and exterior, right? Angle 1. Everybody agree angle 1 is above line I and to the left of the transversal L. Yes? Okay. Go to the other line. What angle is above the line and to the left of the transversal? 5. 1 and 5 are corresponding. Miss Hoff calls these F angles. For example, this F is upside down and backwards, but still an F, yes? So if it helps you when you trace them, it should form an F. Can anybody else give me another set besides 1 and 5? Max? 2 and 6 would work. Morgan? 3 and 7 would work. One more. 4 and 8. Again, their measures are equal. Any of this ring a bell? Good, good, good. Usually that's a lot of information I throw at somebody and I have a lot of glossed over I's, but I don't have a lot of glossed over I's. So that's a good sign that you guys are like, oh yeah, I do remember some of this. So the nice part about using all of those angle relationships is if I give you a diagram with two lines and a transversal, and I give you one angle, that angle right there is 43 degrees. I can find the remaining 7 angles based on angle relationships. So tell me where else, or another angle that's 43 degrees, or another degree measure, but you have to tell me an angle relationship that caused you to know that. Maddox, angle 6 is how many degrees, and why? How do you know that? What type of angle relationship do you have? One of the 3 vocab words we just wrote down on the other side. You're right, it's 43 degrees. What are they? Alternate exterior angles. Very good. Caden. Very good. From this 43 to 4 is corresponding. Can somebody tell me how 4 could hook to 6? Vertical. They're vertical angles. Okay? Isaac. Oops, why did I write 46 right there? How do you know that? Vertical to the original 43. What other angle relationship do you have there? Corresponding to 6. Alternate interior to 4. Okay, cool. You guys got all the 43s. Why? Very good. They form a straight line. They are also known as supplementary angles, right? So like angle 1 and 43 or angle 3 and 43 are going to be supplementary. When you add them together, they equal 180 degrees. So if you take 180 minus 43, you end up with 137. Which angles are 137? 1, 3, 5, and 7. Clearly, you've done this before. Good. One more. Okay? In the figure below, angle 1 is represented by x minus 5 degrees, and angle 2 is 4x degrees. Part A says, write me an equation to find x. Make sure you use an equal sign. So they're making you set this up. You're not solving anything in A, you're just setting up the equation. And then B says, okay, now find me the degree of each angle. How do I do this? How do I set this up? 180. What about 180? Why 90? It's a right angle. We know what the box. Would everybody agree with me? Angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90 degrees. Okay? What do they tell us angle 1 is? X minus 5. What do they tell us angle 2 is? 4x equals 90. That is what you type in A. You do not even have to simplify terms or anything. Just type that into A. Now, how am I going to actually figure out how many degrees angle 1 is and angle 2? Max? Okay, x and 4x would give me 5x minus 5 equals 90. Caden? Careful. Add 5 to both sides, so 5x equals 95. Then divide by 5. X equals 18. 19. 18? 19. 19? 19. Plug it into what? Very good. So angle 1 they said was x minus 5. Well, we just said x was 19. So 19 minus 5 is 14. So angle 1 is 14 degrees. Whoops. Then they told us angle 2 is 4x. 4 times 19 is 76. How could you check that you did that correctly? Add them together and you better get 90. Do you think they're always on this problem going to add together to give you 90? What's another one they might set you up for? 180. How would you know it's 180? Like on this one, you know it's 90 because of that box in the corner. Very good. 180 is a straight line. Bless you too, whoever sneezed. Okay? So some of this is just identifying, like part of these are just going to say, give me a set of supplementary angles. Give me a set of vertical angles. You're not going to have work to show for every single problem. There are some that you're going to have to write an equation. I do expect work to be shown there. Hear me out. Everybody listening to me. When you log into Alex, I have moved you to a new class. If I wanted to get this content, I had to move you to a new class. Fingers crossed, it's going to make you do a tools tutorial and nothing else. If it makes you do a knowledge check, guess what you're going to do? I don't know until it goes away. Amber should be the only one that has to do that because she's new to the district. You guys, it should have carried on from last year. Okay? Yes. It's going to look identical to what we were doing other than you just have a different book attached to it, and you're not going to have very many assignments.